What is the thing that you can do when nobody else is looking? What is the thing that you can do and push through when times get hard? That's when you know you have cracked the code when it comes to figuring out where you are going to find your success in business. My working professionals, creators, entrepreneurs, I need y'all to tap in. Listen, if you're tired of fighting distractions at home or bouncing around from coffee shop to coffee shop, then Bamboo has exactly what you need to be able to lock in and get your work done. In addition to having flexible meeting rooms and event space, they've got a community that actually supports you while you're in the building. So if you're ready to lock in some space right now, guess what? I got you. If you head over to bamboocowork.com right now and use the promo code Black Friday 20, you'll get 20% off any of your rental bookings. Don't waste any more time. Head over to bamboocowork.com and take care of that. Use that promo code. I'll be seeing you at a Bamboo location sometime soon. Now, let's go ahead and get back into the episode. What up, though, Black Fridays family? Welcome back to another installment of the Black Fridays podcast. Before we get into today's episode, I need you to hit that like button, subscribe, drop a comment, send some videos to family, friends, and loved ones so that we can keep this thing going. Now that we got that business out of the way, I need to talk to you about a topic that has been on my mind for some time, and actually it frustrates me to even think that I too have fell victim to this. And what I'm talking about is all of you out there, talking to myself included, who have started a business or started an idea, a concept, but you never get the proper momentum that you need in order for it to be successful, because you stop, you move on to the next thing, things get hard, and you don't know where to go next, so you just drop it and you move on. But at Black Fridays, we are all about action, perseverance, and being able to figure it out, embodying that true hustler's mentality. So I'm going to not only tell you what are the reasons that you keep stopping and starting your business, but I'm also going to be able to tell you how do you fix this and correct it so that it doesn't become a negative habit in the future. You can learn how to get it ahead of it. All right, let's get straight into it. I mean, listen, when you have that bright idea and you are starting out, everything seems like it is a fantasy world. You are thinking about the marketing for your project, budgeting, the people who you can hire, who you're going to work with, brand colors, logos, all the things. Getting started is not typically the hard part. Where the challenge comes in is actually being able to get and remain consistent. That consistency is really tough, because what do we do 9 times out of 10? Things are going well, or at least you feel like they're going well. And as soon as you hit a bump in the road, something unforeseen, life happens, all the things, next thing you know, you're done with it. You drop it, you quit, and it's no going back. Before we go any further, I got to tell you the story about a client that I had back in the day when I was doing web design. And I hope the person that may remember that they were doing this doesn't see this episode and feel any type of way, because that's not what it's meant for. It's just more so meant as a point of emphasis. But anyway, had a client and was super excited to work with them. They were starting a blog and I was going to develop the website for them. And so they put down their deposit and everything. We're talking about how we're going to structure this thing and what it's going to look like. And as we got closer and closer to it, I started to realize that they were spending their time in trying to figure out how to market and get exposure to the blog versus creating the content to actually put on the blog. We never completed doing the website because we never had any content to actually put on the website, because the person I was working with was too far down the line in terms of how it was going to look, how it was going to feel, but not necessarily the substance. And then as soon as things didn't necessarily go their way and it got hard because they weren't committed to the process, it was a drop in the bucket and they kept it moving. Thank God for making sure that you get those deposits when you start doing work, but it was not something that they were truly locked into. So therefore, That's how we end up in this situation. So I always tell people about that because it is very important to make sure that you are in tune with what it is that you are working on. So with that example in mind, let's go into the reasons why people truly stop before they can start to see success in the thing that they're building. Number one reason is you don't have any clarity. You don't have a pathway that you're trying to move down. You don't have any real goals that you're moving towards. You just doing it just to do it. You saw somebody else doing it. You're following a trend. You think it's going to make you some money real quick, and you don't have any real focus. And so lack of clarity is the number one reason why the thing that you are starting is not going to see any success, because you're not marching towards anything. You just throwing spaghetti at a wall and wondering if it's going to stick. Number two, now this thing doesn't have to be perfect, but you got to develop some type of, you don't have any type of systems. You don't know when you're going to record your content, how you're going to record it. You don't know how you're going to package your orders for your t-shirt company, your business. You just kind of flying by the seat of your pants, and you don't even think to install systems as you go along and you learn new lessons. You just kind of winging it. Number three is very important because you don't have a real audience. You do not understand who can benefit from the things that you do, the things that you make, you put out there in the world, whether that be a t-shirt, as I mentioned before, or if that is content. You don't know who you're talking to and you have no real audience and understand people who could really benefit from the things that you do. And number four, you're chasing money or clout. You just want to be seen. You want to be famous. You want to be mentioned with X, Y, and Z. And there's no real game plan here other than trying to make a quick dollar or trying to get noticed. That's probably the quickest path to burn out and or crash out when it comes to not being successful at building the thing that you set out to do, especially in business. So just to reiterate, number one, you don't have any real clarity on what you're doing. Number two, you haven't built any systems and learned from your lessons. Number three is you don't have a real audience of people who can benefit from what it is that you do. And number four, you're just chasing a quick dollar or some attention. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to leave you hanging. Of course, we talked about the pitfalls in terms of why you keep stopping and starting businesses, but I want to be able to help you understand how do you turn these things around. So number one, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start to get clear with our goals. We are actually going to create goals for the thing that it is that we want to do. As I mentioned, a lot of times starting is not always the issue. Sometimes it's probably the least friction when it comes to building something up is actually getting started. Grabbing the LLC, getting a logo, getting a website, those things are cool. But when it comes to the meat and substance of what it is that you're doing, that's when things start to get tricky. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build goals around being able to develop those things step by step. And so now we're able to build a reward system as we go along the journey. And we're able to pick up some of those quick wins that's gonna keep us in the game and invest it a lot longer down the pathway to success. Number two, we are going to learn from our mistakes. Making mistakes means that you are moving in the right direction. Unless you keep making the same mistakes over and over again, that's no bueno. That's not okay. However, if you are able to learn from your mistakes overall and being able to take those as applied lessons and then restructure and retool as you move forward, that's what's going to help you continue to build those blocks so that you can create a much stronger foundation with your business. And the stronger foundation you have, the better chances you have at creating longevity and ultimately success. And building on that, we have to always focus on improving. Don't worry about the likes in the beginning. Don't worry about the amount of people. You have to worry about getting good at what it is that you do. I can recall the days of doing this podcast right here where I would literally get 5 downloads from an episode that has been out for months. And I wasn't worried about the number of downloads that I was getting at that point in time. And I still do my best not to. Of course, it's important, but I want to get better. I want to understand, how can I conduct a better interview? How can I get better guests? How can I get better equipment? And then those things over time are going to be able to show my effort in getting better by being able to attract more opportunities. So we got to focus on getting good and then continuing to get better from there. And listen up, for all my people that's trying to get their money. Listen, I'm from Detroit, the city of hustle. I understand. But we got to do this the smart way. We got to get less out of that hustling mentality and just trying to grab what we can when we can. And we got to be more strategic about it. And you can make money plays. Of course, if you're starting a business, the goal is to be able to make money. I don't care if you're a nonprofit, you need money. So how are you going to do that? You are going to be smart and intentional from the beginning, and you're going to create money goals. So if there are things that you are able to offer, obviously, if you have a business, it's a little bit more straightforward. Versus if you are a content creator, then it's a little bit of a different ball game in terms of how you get paid from your creative. However, if you're starting a business, if you're starting a platform, you get to identify the ways that you are able to get paid. So therefore, we're going to make some money targets in terms of, hey, I want to have my first $50 within my first 30 days of doing this business venture. Okay, so now let's start to understand how we can be able to make the right moves in order to get to that $50 and or surpass it. But from day one, we're going to start and be intentional about those money goals. Don't get too crazy, obviously, because, and say you're going to make $1 million in 30 days, because I think you'll be surprised at how, I'm not going to say you can't do it, I think you'll be surprised at how challenging it is to actually do something of that nature. So you got to be able to create these small wins so that we can build up from there. And hey, the reason why I'm talking about this topic at all is because I am not exempt from any of these shortcomings that we see when it comes to doing business. Black Fridays is not my first podcast platform. It's actually my fourth, which people don't necessarily know or realize. Also, the services that I have built around and into Black Fridays is not my first business, which people may not necessarily know or realize. And the reason why I'm able to have substance and longevity with the platform that I've built with this is because I've been able to find my lane and understand that I can be able to merge my creativity and love and background of marketing with my love and passion for business journeys, motivation, stories, etc., and being able to merge those two worlds together through a podcast platform and media as well. So that is why I've been able to do this platform for almost 6 years, create this podcast, have so many amazing conversations and guests, over 200 episodes, almost over 200,000 views in terms of my videos, and tens of thousands of downloads. So being able to find that lane for myself and understanding what that was a true game changer. And it gave me an opportunity to find something I can talk about ad nauseum, that I love engaging in certain conversations and talking to people with. So when the days do get tough, and right now while I'm editing this episode, it's late at night, and I've had many a nights where I'm editing content late at night, right before it has to come out, sometimes on vacation, being dedicated to the process because I truly am passionate about the things that I'm talking about and relaying this information to the people who find value in it. And so being able to get to that point is the true cheat code in content creation and also being able to develop a business. What is the thing that you can do when nobody else is looking? What is the thing that you can do and push through when times get hard? That's when you know you have cracked the code when it comes to figuring out where you are going to find your success in business. So listen, I wouldn't be me if I didn't give you a few cheat codes. I'm just going to give you a quick call to action. So far, we talked about what are the reasons why you keep starting and stopping your business. And secondly, we talked about the ways in which you can be able to fix these things so that that does not continue to be an issue and you can continue to march forward down the path of success in developing your current business or growing a new business down the line. Now, I'm gonna give you 3 quick growth hacks on how to be able to better support your business moving forward. Number 1, I want you to do some research. I want you to do some market research to what people need and what they're responding to. And I'll give you a quick example. If you are a baker and you're interested in having your own bakery, a brick and mortar, what you should start doing is being able to try out your recipes and let people taste test them. So pull up to different events, have people come over to the house, let people taste test them, get their feedback, because in the beginning, that's going to be worth so much more than just getting a quick dollar. I promise you. You get that information, and then now you're able to leverage that for when you are ready to officially launch. You know exactly what your customer base, or close enough to your customer base, is going to want and need or expect out of you. I want you to develop whatever that thing is that you are able to get your research from. So whether it's a service, whether it's resources, whether it is content or a certain platform, I want you to start developing based on what that information that you're getting from your market research, in order to be able to provide people what they need at a time when they actually need it. And then number 3, I need you to start engaging. I need you to start showing up, whether that be you doing pop-ups to be able to get your brand in front of other people, or you getting in front of a camera and being able to talk about what it is that you do. I need you to get started. So once again, those 3 keys that I need you to do to accelerate your business today, and or that business idea that you've been sitting on forever, that you're afraid of starting and stopping, I need you to do those 3 things. Do some market research, take that market research, start developing your products or your services. And once you develop your products or services, I need you to get in front of the people, either in person or digitally. And speaking of which, I need all my podcasters. I need y'all to listen up right now, because I am starting something that I myself have been sitting on for quite some time, but now is the perfect time to do it, because I am developing a community of podcasters who are looking to develop businesses and systems within or around their platforms. Now, what you're going to get as a part of this community is that you're going to be able to get real connections and conversations about the podcast industry, about developing and growing your show. You'll get some practical gems to be able to help you elevate in your business that you're developing around the show. And also, if you need it, and if you don't need it, you're going to get some tough love, and you're going to be challenged on the things that you can be doing in order to continue to improve and get better. So if you want to tap in with that community and that sounds like something that's right up your alley, I need you to go ahead and visit www.blackfridayspod.com, and you'll be able to find the information for the podcast community, or you could just hit the link right here, show notes, and it'll take you directly to that portion of the Black Fridays website. So I'm really excited to be able to see you over there. If you're a content creator or a podcaster, you need to make sure that you tap in, because we are ready to take action, and it's time for us to create our own opportunities from our own creativity. So in closing, what we're going to do moving forward is that we are going to stop starting and stopping these businesses so abruptly before we're able to actually see and reach success. And what we're going to do is we're going to dig a little bit deeper. We're going to implement these things that we talked about here today in order to make sure that not only do we get to the bag, but we're creating real opportunities for ourselves in our businesses, and truly allowing our gifts the opportunity to be able to flourish and provide opportunities for us. So with that being said, this has been another great episode, Black Fridays podcast. I need a solo episode in a minute. I'm grateful to be able to keep this platform rolling for you all. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in more episodes and conversations like this. All right, everybody watching and listening, I'm going to tap in with y'all soon. Peace.